Hello everybody, Papa Blue Shirt here. We're getting ready to go on a special ride today. It's kind of cool out here today. This is a special ride today because this is my 18,000 mile ride for my Philodo Jumbo. And just to let you know, you might be interested, I haven't greased the hub motor yet, and I'm seeing how far I can go without greasing the hub motor. So if you want to find out how things are going, stay tuned. There's what we're riding today. The Philodo Jumbo. I did change my rear tire finally. And I got like 10,000 miles or something on the rear tire. So we'll take a look at that in a minute here. But yeah, so let's get going. It's kind of windy today, so I don't know how good this audio is going to be, but we'll see. And yeah, all right. It's not as bad today as it was the other day. Well, it was in the teens the other day with really strong winds, and boy, that was a rough ride. Today's much nicer, probably in the 30s, maybe even a little warmer. It is windy though, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, we got some ducks out there. Yeah, I actually have electric socks on and one electric glove. So we'll see how that goes. I usually wear one electric glove on my right hand because I always put my other hand in my pocket, and I like to have it so I can operate my phone and stuff. And but when it was really cold, boy, I couldn't handle it, so I had to have both of my gloves in. But it's much nicer today. It is windy, but like I said, but it's not as cold, so we should do all right today. Yeah, I ride all year round. Usually in the wintertime, I try to ride the temperature at least. So if it's 35, I try to ride 35 miles. If it's 18, I ride 18 miles, at least. When it gets down to 0, I guess that means I don't go on my ride. And boy, when it's that cold, I'm looking for an excuse not to ride. It's not very often we get that. I'd say we probably get that maybe for a couple of weeks out of the year. We'll get a really hard freeze like that, and my ponds will freeze over, and boy, it's cold too, boy. But it usually don't hang around very long. After a couple of weeks, it'll be in the 50s again and the 40s. So, yeah. But this is pretty nice today compared to the other day. That's the thing, once you ride in a really cold day, all the other days they feel a lot warmer. So it's kind of like in the fall when the first cold days come, you say, man, it's cold. But then in the spring, that very same day can come and you'll think it's a heat spell, you know, so it's all relative. This is nice today. I think I'm going to enjoy this today. I seem like I always get to this one intersection here and there's always a car behind me. So I have to turn off here, let them pass. Yeah, there's a little area here that's really hard for them to pass, so I don't like to hold them up, so I turn off there if I can. I wonder if my little terriers will come out here. I got 2 little terriers. They always try to run alongside me here. No, they ain't out today, it don't look like. It's like a game to them. They run out and they run alongside the road with me. And if he beats me, I say, hey, you won today. And if I beat him, I say, oh, I beat you today. You're getting too slow. Just have fun with them. Yeah, one thing to remember is when it's cold out, you don't have anywhere near the range that you do when it's warm out. These lithium ion batteries, they don't perform as well when it's cold, which is kind of weird. You think because they heat up, you think they would warm themselves up and they would work better, but that's not the case. Oh, that wind's really slowing me down. Yeah, I still don't know what kind of car this is. The yellow one there. It's been sitting there for months. For sale, so must have overfinanced it or something. It's funny how 15 or 20 degrees makes that much of a difference. It's the difference between a really comfortable ride and a ride that you're just wanting to get done. You know, think about 20 degrees versus 40 degrees. And you can dress up, you know, and get nice and warm, but I don't know. Of course, it could have something to do with the sun being out too. That always makes it nicer. No matter how cold it is, having the sun out really helps. Yeah, the pastor's got the Grinch up over there, it looks like. I wonder if he's trying to send a message or something. When the pastor had got the Grinch out in front of his house, you might wonder. No, it's probably just a fun thing. Yeah, I guess when Chuck Jones, you know, did the Grinch, had no idea that it was going to become a holiday classic, which is, you know, is usually the case. You know, you don't know when you're doing something. I'm sure when they did It's a Wonderful Life, you know, they thought it was just a one-year thing and that was going to be the end of it. But end up watching it almost every year now. Almost every year now we watch it. We also watch Shop Around the Corner. I think that one's a really underrated one. That and Holiday Inn. You know, a lot of people like White Christmas, but you know, Holiday Inn is a really good movie. It had the disadvantage that it was in black and white. If they would have done it in color, it probably would have been a major hit. But if it wasn't for Holiday Inn, there wouldn't have been no White Christmas, because that's where Irving Berlin first brought his song forth. So yeah, I actually went past 18,000 miles yesterday. I think it was yesterday, yeah. I went past it yesterday. The other day I ended up right exactly on 18,000. And then yesterday I went past it, but it was so cold yesterday. I said, I can't be doing a video. I actually wore my insulated coveralls and everything. So I was really dressed up yesterday. But today's really nice in comparison to yesterday. Hopefully this audio will work out all right, because it is really windy. But I do have the mic kind of in my coat here a little bit, so maybe that'll help. So what's your favorite holiday movie? I suppose a lot of people liked Home Alone, and it was good. I mean, I liked watching it. It's not really something I like watching every year, but and Jingle All the Way, that was kind of a fun movie. And Miracle on 34th Street, we usually watch several different versions of that. And I know probably by the time you hear this, it'll be way past Christmas. But yeah, we're looking back anyways. Yeah, I'm thinking about which bike to get for my ride for next year. We used to have a deal with my wife that every 10,000 miles I can get a new bike. Well, I'm almost went there twice now on this. So by spring, I'm sure I'll have over 20,000 on this. So maybe I can get a really good bike. I'm actually thinking about the Monster by E-Cells. I think that one looks very interesting. I'm a little worried about the range because it only has a dual battery, but I can always add one because it's a really fast bike and it's probably going to run through the battery really fast, or the batteries, as the case may be. Ride with the wind as long as I can. Only bad thing about that is you do have to turn around at some point. You get kind of spoiled going with the wind and turn around and ride back into it, and you'd be wishing you wouldn't have went so far that way. Yeah, the other day I recorded a whole ride, my whole ride, and my 360 camera lasted the whole time, and I thought, boy, that's weird. It was the first time I put the action camera, you know, the 4K one on instead of the 360. I thought that maybe it was because of that one doesn't use as much or something. But I'm trying to get my phone going here, that's why I'm scatterbrained. But it turns out it was frozen the whole time. It recorded the first, 2 or 3 miles, and then it froze up on me. And so it didn't record nothing else. So I thought I'd try my 4K on my ride here and see how it goes. Because in the wintertime, it's a lot more comfortable than to try to pull out my phone all the time and to get footage, because, man, your hands get cold. Yeah, some people out on their UTVs. Yeah, they don't bother you here. They don't bother you here. They ride those right down the road and right through town and everything. So they probably won't bother me with a really fast e-bike. Yeah, the Monster is supposed to do 45 miles an hour. Now, I'm not sure I want to ride that fast all the time, but when you're trying to get out of the way of a car or something, it's really nice to have some extra speed. Yeah, I broke my helmet mirror the other day. It just kind of fell off in my hands while I was trying to readjust it. But I did have a spare one. I bought one from my wife to see if she wanted to use it, with the idea that if I needed to take it back, I could. But she likes to ride with a mosquito net over her helmet in the summertime. So we never put it on her, so I had an extra one. But the last time I had to buy one was with my Eco Trick, when I wiped out and went off the trail and did my face plant. I couldn't find my mirrors in the woods somewhere. So I bought another one to replace it in. So that means I've went 32,000 miles with that helmet mirror, so I think that's pretty good. Yeah, it never astonishes me how people always pull out like that. I always try to wait till the car goes by or the bike or whatever. There's no sense in adding another interaction because every interaction is a potential for an accident. And of course that's years and years of defensive driving. It's kind of ingrained in me, so. And when you're riding a bike, if you don't defensive drive, you probably ain't gonna be around very long. Because you gotta act like you're invisible, because most of the time you are. Other than the wind, it's really nice today. I like this. Boy, that other day when my battery, when it was cold out, boy, my battery just went down so fast. Yeah, the other day, I went around the corner up here and there was a whole herd of sheep in the road. But my camera had died about a half a mile before that, so I missed it. We'll go up there today, maybe they'll be up there again. I think I need to turn my heated socks down. That's really neat about these Bluetooth operated heat socks. Operated with the app. So you don't have to pull your pant leg up, and I can do it on the go. Yeah, I don't see them out here today. They all ran across the street the other day. Yeah, being a guy who used to raise sheep, I kind of got a kick out of it. And on that note, I know why the Lord compared us to sheep. Because sheep are not very bright. I'm trying to help you get out of the fence. I'm not trying to kill you. Get stuck in the fence and you go to help them and they think like, he's got me, he's got me. And you know, we're probably just like that. I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to help you. He's got me. Anyway. Well, no sheep today. But 18,000 miles, boy, I can't hardly believe that. You know, my back was hurting so bad there for a while. 2911. Guys out there working hear me talking, they wonder what in the world? Some guy going by talking himself. Anyways, my back was so bad there for a while, you know. And at that time I only had like, I don't know, probably a couple thousand miles. And I'd already set my goal for 15 for the year. And boy, that was rough. So I rode like 4,000 miles in intense pain. I didn't want to give up though. Finally figured out what was going on. I had my seat too low. So it was activating my sacroiliac joint. And yeah. And what's really weird about the sacroiliac joint is that pain, it mimics a lot of other pain, a lot of other back pain. So it was really hard to tell exactly where it was coming from. I knew my hip hurt, but I didn't know what was causing it. But I was watching Brent, the chiropractor, and he just made mention of it. That one thing that causes problems is having your seat too low on your bicycle. And I thought, aha, that's it. So I raised up my seat a little bit and got some shorter cranks. I wore a sacroiliac belt for a while. All a sacroiliac belt does is it holds in the joint. It's like a big elastic band. that you can adjust. So I wore that for about, I don't know, probably for a couple weeks. And then after that, I just kept getting better. And that was 16,000 miles ago. A bunch of St. Bernards up here. Oh, which way do I want to go? Trying to decide which way I want to go up here. Yeah, I can handle weather like this. This ain't bad. Yeah, I like it when the weather's not the factor that determines how far you go. Yeah, we almost moved to Arizona so I could ride all year round. But we got to thinking, out there you're just on the other end of the scale. You can't ride because it's too hot. End up having to ride after midnight or something. Which I guess wouldn't be too bad, but you get out there somewhere where you don't have cell service and have problems. Could get life-threatening pretty fast. $18,000 miles. So that means on these Philodos I've rode over 32,000 miles. I've ridden on the Philodo e-bikes around the world and halfway around again, I think. That's pretty sobering. That's a lot of time on a bike seat. Of course, there will always be those that say it's easy because you're riding an e-bike. When they've ridden 32,000 miles on an e-bike, you know, they can let me know how easy it is. When you're like me and you can't even walk out to the garage, I mean, it's a pretty big deal for me anyway. But like I said before, I just let people know how many miles it is just so you know how good these bikes are. A lot of people interested on how far these Philodos will go, or e-bikes in general. I remember I bought my H8 and I had like 800 miles on it or something. I got a comment that said that the hub motor would never last 1,000 miles. That person's long gone, but I put over 14,000 on that one, over 18 on this one, so I think they're pretty reliable. Pretty reliable. Only thing I've ever done to this one is, other than the improvements that I put on it, you know, like the freewheel and stuff. Only other thing I've done was put tires on it. I still got the original brakes. Of course, now most of my miles are country miles, but still got the original brakes. I will say, I'd rather ride in the heat than the cold, I will say that. I think the hottest I rode this year was 115, I think. 115 or 117. And that was the heat index. The actual heat was 108 or something like that. So there was days that I was a little concerned. You know, my wife wanted me to stay home. I said, no, I'll be careful. One good thing about an e-bike is if you get out there and you overdo it or something, you can usually get home. Oh, that wind's kind of cold on my nose. Got to put my mask up here. Anyways, I think the monster might be a good bike to get. Yeah, they're still on back order, so I was kind of waiting until they come in, and so people could see how they like them, and I could see how they are. Ah, man, the wind. I don't know how this audio is going to turn out. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, this is a really rough road. Yeah, I think it's funny how you associate memories to certain locations. I was thinking about a certain issue through here, and every time I come through here now I think about it. That's why the memory palace way of memorizing actually works. I venture to say that if you're 80 years old and you haven't been to your home house in 60 or 70 years, you can probably still describe each and every room and the feeling that you got when you went into every room. And so the memory palace, it kind of works that way. You associate a memory to a certain location, and then you get to that location, you can remember whatever you were trying to remember. Yeah, I guess Chuck Norris's mama just died the other day. He's 84. You don't expect an 84-year-old to still have his mama around. But she was 103. So he's pretty fortunate to have his mama around that long. Well, I guess I should show you what my miles are here. I think it says 1856. I'm not sure though. My eyesight ain't what it used to be. Spend all day looking at the computer. I can see pretty good in the distance, but up close can be kind of rough sometimes. But this bike has been very good. Like I said, I'm not planning on greasing the hub motors until I have to. I think it's funny, the front one's actually louder than my rear one. And I don't use that anywhere near as much. But we'll see how it goes. Well, this is a really nice area through here. I really like to ride this. Get you a little bit out of the wind too. I used to turn back there on the highway. I didn't even know there was a road back here. But one day I saw a car go across the road and I thought, oh man, that goes through. So I looked it up, and sure enough, so it ended up being on my regular ride. Up here there's a house that I didn't even know was back here for over a year. See it right here. You can see it when the leaves are off the trees a little bit. Otherwise it's pretty much hidden back there. All right, well, that was a nice ride. It's a lot warmer than the other day, but it was pretty windy out, so hopefully this audio will turn out all right. And yeah, so 18,079 miles, was it? Something like that. 18,070 some miles. And so we're still going strong on this Philodo Jumbo. And I still haven't oiled that hub motor, so we'll see how far I can go. I think they oil them way too much. Someone on the internet said to do it every 1,000 miles, and that's just crazy. You would never do it every 1,000 miles. That'd be 18 times that I would have greased my hub motor already. And over at Grin Technologies, he said he don't think you even need to grease the hub motor. And from what I've seen, unless you're an extreme rider, you'll never ride enough miles to have to grease the hub motor. So don't go creating problems when there isn't any. Those gears are nylon gears, so they hold up very well. The grease ain't gonna do a whole lot. The only place the grease will do any good is inside the clutch. There's a little bearing, and that might be able to stand some grease, you know, maybe sometime, but we're just gonna keep going and see how far we can go. So if you're interested how far I can go, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see how far we can get this hub motor. I think the manufacturer says that you should do it every 10,000 miles or something like that. And so I've already went over that once and almost twice now. So we'll see how it goes. Alrighty. Well, hope that was enjoyable. Hopefully this audio turned out good enough to use. And thanks for riding with me. And goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you.
Goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you, liking to you, liking to you, liking to you, liking to you.